finally back with a thyroid update video. So it's been a few months of appointments and biopsies and waiting for results, but I finally have my update that I can share with you guys. So it is fortunately all good news, which means that the diet changes that I have made and the supplement regimen that I'm on, as well as the herbal regimen that I'm on, have been working and are taking me in the direction that I want to be going. So that is really exciting. So in this video, I'm going to recap on what my supplements look like and what I do for that, as well as the herbs that I take. And I will have all of that information linked below for you guys. I'm going to also share with you guys a really cool tool for keeping track of your nutrient levels if that's something that you're interested in. And I'm also going to give you guys another resource. It's another medical doctor who I have been spending a lot of time looking at, and she seems to be having a lot of really good results helping people not only with thyroid issues, but any and all autoimmune issues, actually any health issues, to be able to reverse them with a similar protocol that I have been implementing in my life. So first, I want to remind you guys that the Truth About Weight Loss conference starts tomorrow. This is an all-free conference. You can watch it completely for free. It's all of the amazing medical plant-based doctors, authors, speakers, trainers that come together, and they teach once a year on really the truth behind plant-based diets, how to sustainably be able to lose weight and keep it off and never have to count calories. It was this information that literally changed my life. I used to be 70 pounds heavier than I am. My husband used to be 50 pounds heavier. This is a conference you don't want to miss, but you do have to register. So I will link that below for you guys. And if you're gonna miss any part of the conference, you can buy the recorded sessions. But if you think you wanna do that, do it when you register, because that'll be the cheapest price. And the conference starts tomorrow on the 18th. And the new expanded version of my weight loss guide and cookbook, Plantifully Lean, there she is, will be in stores on April 11th, but it is now available for pre-order. So if you don't already have my weight loss guide and cookbook, this is where I show you everything you need to know to be able to lose weight on a plant-based diet, eating loads of carbs and not having to count any calories. I show you guys the plate building methods that I used to help me lose weight, to help me work through all the plateaus, because plateaus are gonna happen, as anyone who's ever been on a weight loss journey knows. If you already have this version and want to know what's different in this one, I'm going to link the video below where I go into all of that detail for you guys, but it is available for pre-order now, so I will have that below. I'm still drinking my celery juice. All right, thyroid healing journey. I'm going to do a very quick recap. If you want all the details, see my previous video that I will link below for you guys. But in a nutshell, before I moved to a plant-based diet, I was 70 pounds heavier than I am today. All sorts of health issues, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, I was pre-diabetic, all of this stuff. Lots of hormone issues. I was also diagnosed with hypothyroid. Now, I was not diagnosed with an autoimmune thyroid issue. It was just my hormone levels were definitely hypothyroid, and I was having a lot of symptoms. I was having a lot of menstrual irregularities. I was losing hair like crazy. I had extreme fatigue and extreme sensitivity to cold. And I didn't know at the time that this was a symptom of hypothyroid, but I always had a really swollen, puffy face, which now I know has a lot to do with thyroid. So after a lot of research, I found these amazing medical doctors that promote a plant-based diet and have been doing this for 30, 40, 50 years and have been helping their patients heal and reverse all of their health issues on high carb, low fat, plant-based diets. Now, I had never heard of this because none of my doctors had ever told me anything about a plant-based diet. If anything, you know, the whole world is keto and tell you shouldn't be eating carbs and you should be eating high protein, high fat, all of this stuff, which I was doing, and my health was continuing to decline and I wasn't losing any weight, which is just another reason why you do not want to miss this weight loss conference, because it was these doctors that, like I said, literally changed my life. The information that they share is life-changing. How many times am I going to say that? So I started changing my diet immediately. And by the end of that first year where I had switched to a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet, I had not only lost almost 70 pounds, but my thyroid hormone levels were now completely perfect within a normal range. I wasn't having the hair fall out that I used to have, and a lot of the symptoms had subsided for me. And then all of the other happy side effects of weight loss. I was no longer pre-diabetic. I had perfect blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, the whole thing. Then a few years later, I started experiencing hair loss again, and I was naturally freaking out. I was starting to develop this bald spot. And when my husband noticed it and told me about it, like, I was freaking out. So I did a bunch of research. I ended up finding this company and getting on this really good vegan supplement that doesn't have all of the fillers and all of the mega doses and junk that most multivitamins and other supplements have. So I felt really good about taking this one. And within 3 months, I had like a full patch of hair growing back. My hair filled back out. I take this supplement religiously. I've never had hair fallout issues since taking it. Now, I do have a video where I go into detail about that. I have a blog post written on my website. I will link all of that below for you guys, along with the supplements and a discount code. I've gotten to know the owners of the company personally and have developed a personal relationship with them, and I love them. I love everybody that works for them. Everybody has a lot of integrity. They're just really good people. They're the kind of people that you want to hang out with, you want to spend time with. So they're a company that I trust and love. But it turns out that everything in the supplement are nutrients that your thyroid need. Iodine, magnesium, selenium, zinc. So when I got tested, I was low in like all of these, including vitamin D, because I live in the snowy mountains of Colorado. So it made sense that when I started taking that and getting the extra boost in nutrition that I needed, that it was feeding my thyroid and helping me with the hair loss. Now, there are a lot of people in the plant-based community that say you don't need to take any supplements, that diet alone should be enough, and I really wanted that to be my experience. So when I went to a plant-based diet, I got rid of all supplements. I wasn't taking anything for a few years, and it just unfortunately was not my experience. I don't know why, but that is why I keep track of my levels and keep an eye on everything. All right, so now I want to give you guys a few more resources that I think can be really helpful for you guys. Okay, so Complement is the supplement that I take. This is the one that reversed my hair loss. This is the one I take every day religiously. And this has, you can see right here, it's got B12, D3, it's got your DHA, iodine, selenium, magnesium, zinc, and K2. I never miss a day. I just knocked that glass off and it broke everywhere. Dang it. Look. And yes, I'm filming in my dirty sweatpants that have food on them. All right, back to the show. Okay, so Complement has come out with this program called Insight, and I'm really excited about this. The people that are doing it love it.
It's basically this amazing in-home testing. You get this personalized nutrition app, which is really, really awesome. It includes your Complement Essential already in the whole package. And if you just bought some, they will discount it for you, which I love. But the app tracks your results and allows you to communicate as much as you need to with a registered dietitian and nutritionist, and you get customized daily supplement packets designed by the RD based on your test results, which is awesome. What I love is that every 6 months you get tested again to track your progress, and your supplements get adjusted based on your results. So I'm really excited about this, and this is what I'm going to be moving to help save me even more money on the supplements that I need to be taking.
Basically, it comes with all of these test kits. You can do your micronutrients and A1C, and this basically helps you keep track of your nutrient levels. There's also a test kit for your biomarkers. Now, what is really cool about this is that you do the test at home, you send it back to them, and they help you keep track of everything. They have an incredible RD, registered dietitian, that looks at everything and adjusts your supplement pack to have more and less of what your body needs. So where I had originally started with this, which is great, it's still phenomenal, would do this. If you can't do this, do this. If I couldn't do this, I would still do this 100% for life. I don't play with bald spots. But what's awesome about this Insight program is that you basically get a tailored custom supplement pack according to your personal needs. They send those to you. You just open your little packet every day and you have your custom supplement package, which I think is phenomenal. And you're getting to see where all your levels are at. You can see them come up or come down if they need to. It's really phenomenal. And here's the part that I get the most excited about. For an additional $7 to $9 a month, you can add any other herbs or supplements to it that you want. So for example, if I wanted to add turmeric to my supplement packet so that I can take that every day, it's only going to be an extra $7 to $9 a month to add that versus the $35 or $45 for the bottle a month of turmeric. Complement is very meticulous about the quality of supplements and herbs that they source. So that alone saves me so much money. I'm not buying this expensive 1 month supply of turmeric for $40. I'm getting it in my custom little packet for an additional $7 a month. So it's just another great way to save. So from there, long story short, again, if you want details, go to my previous video. My doctor discovers that I have lumps on my thyroid. So she sends me to a thyroid specialist. They check all of my hormone levels and I'm still coming back perfect. So then they ultrasound the lumps and discover that there are several significantly sized nodules on my thyroid. So because of their size, the specialist recommended that I have them biopsied and have a spinal aspiration done. So I had to go to the hospital, and this is basically where they stick this long skinny needle into the thyroid nodules and extract cells and then look at your cells under a microscope. And what they're looking for is cancer. They're looking to see if your cells are healthy looking or if they're not healthy and starting to look cancerous. So unfortunately for me, my cells were not healthy. So a nice healthy cell is nice and round and has a nice round nucleus within it. Unfortunately, my cells were smushed with the nucleus smushed in it. So thankfully, I was not cancerous. They sent it off for further genetic testing to really rule out that it was not cancerous, and it wasn't. My doctor's caution was that it needed to be closely watched because when your body is laying down irregular cells and building these nodules, it's a problem and can eventually turn cancerous. And since my cells were already visibly degraded, that was a major concern. Now, when I asked my specialist what causes it, what do I do about it? He didn't have any answers for me. He said, we don't know what causes it. A huge portion of the population, especially women, have thyroid issues. Lots of people have nodules. It's very common. So it's thyroid cancer. We just need to watch it. So obviously, I was not okay with that answer. So I spent a lot of time getting a lot of tests done and seeking out different specialists, which is, as you know, if you saw my last video, how I ended up, through actually all of you guys helping me, reading all the books by Anthony Williams and finding Dr. Robert Morse. So in Anthony Williams' books, he promotes a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet that really emphasizes a lot of raw foods and a lot of fruit. He also emphasizes certain supplements and herbs to help your body cleanse and detoxify so you can get toxins out of your cells so that your body can repair those cells. There's a lot more detail than that, but in a nutshell. So part of Anthony Williams' protocol is to start each day with a big glass of lemon water and then have a big glass of fresh celery juice, which you guys have been watching me do for almost 2 years now. So that, along with eating lots of fresh fruit and really bringing in more raw vegetables into my life, started making a really good impact. As far as the supplement and herbal protocol, I used his recommendations kind of as a guide, but it is really expensive to source all of these nutrients by themselves, which I have a solution to. I have a workaround, but I knew that I needed to implement them and try to get the herbals in, but cost is, the cost can be prohibitive for a lot of people. So I ended up finding Dr. Robert Morse, and he is based out of Florida. And as I understand, unfortunately, he's no longer taking on any more clients. I got in just before that happened. And for healing, he is more hardcore than Anthony Williams in that he wants to see you on an all raw diet comprised mostly of fruit, because fruit is so detoxifying, hydrating, and healing to the body. He also has his own line of herbal tinctures, which he put me on. And they're basically for helping every system of my body clean out, detoxify, and heal. And the major one that he wanted me on was the adrenal fatigue one, because I did have pretty severe adrenal fatigue, which is actually what Dr. David Brownstein, who's a medical doctor that I had worked with for a while, found in his testing as well. of me. So that all made sense. But what I found with using Dr. Morse's herbal combinations is that in a few bottles, he would have all of the herbs combined that are prescribed in the Anthony William books. And it was just much more cost effective to buy fewer tinctures that have a lot more herbs in them and that are formulated for exactly what I was doing. It was just a more cost effective way for me to do it. Now, as far as the supplements, again, I still take my complement supplement because it has all of the supplements that I need together in one. It's just a lot more cost effective than buying a bottle of each one and trying to source high quality ones. They're expensive. So another budget friendly thing you can do is with the Dr. Morse herbs. So if you can't afford all of the different herbs, Dr. Morse puts together a combination that he calls Heal All. And that's what he recommends for those that can't do all of the, the full herbal protocol or whatever. He recommends the Heal All because he put in herbs for every system of the body that needs support for healing and detoxification into one combination. So that's how I've saved some money where the supplements and herbals are involved. I have still been eating a fully plant-based diet that is high in carbohydrates and low in fat, but I have moved to a high raw diet where I eat raw all day and then have a simple cooked meal in the evening. I take my supplements and my herbals religiously. I don't miss a day. And the end result, I'm really happy about. So I went back to my doctor. They re-ultrasounded me because they wanted to measure the nodules and to see if there's been any growth, because if there has been, then we needed to talk about possibly having them cut off or some other form of intervention, which I was not going to be okay with. So I had that ultrasound done and I am so happy to report that there has been absolutely no growth in the last 2 years, which is incredible. And my doctor was very, very pleased. He said, because this isn't the path that usually transpires with nodules, they just continue to get bigger and bigger, and there has to be some intervention. So that was really great news. There's been absolutely no growth, but he did still want me to go ahead and get biopsied to look at cells and all of that. And I am happy to report everything looks beautiful, perfect, and healthy. So I am 100% convinced that implementing lots of raw food into my diet, and especially raw fruit, along with the herbals and the supplements, has made all of the difference for me. Now, again, I am not a doctor. Please don't take this as medical advice. I am simply sharing my journey. And I want my journey to give you hope and inspire you to not just take one person's opinion or diagnosis, continue to search out answers and find help, because there is always a way. So the neat thing that I have noticed is that I am no longer sensitive to the cold the way I used to be. So anytime we went skiing, I'd have on, I'm not exaggerating when I say I'd have on 5 layers, and one of those layers would be in a heated layer, like the battery packed heated pants and jacket and gloves, and I would still freeze, but I wouldn't feel like I was dying of cold, but I would still be really cold with all of those layers on. Was always tired by 2 p.m. I was done skiing, because we would hit the slopes at 8 a.m. and I was just toast by 2 p.m. whereas my husband and kids could just keep skiing until closed. So this year, for the first time in years, I had so much energy. I didn't notice, guys, that eating raw was giving me so much more energy until I was on the slopes. We started at 8 a.m. like we always do. I was with my family and we shut the place down and have every weekend that we ski, which is just a testimony to me to how much more energy that I have. I also actually got hot. I actually started to sweat, which is crazy because I don't remember the last time I've ever had to take off layers. And guys, I had on 2 layers and then my shell, which is just unheard of, because like I said, I used to have 5 layers on and then my ski shell. So I am feeling really good, really encouraged. So the eating high raw was an adjustment, because I like my cooked food. In the morning, I really looked forward to a big bowl of oatmeal or some pancakes or some potatoes, and to have to give that up for bowls of fruit And smoothies, while that was great and like my natural rhythm in the summer, it was an adjustment through the winter. And I know a lot of you guys ask me all the time, like, how do I deal with like the winter and all the cold and the snow and then eating raw? And the only thing I can say is that I had a strong motivation to see it through and get it done, because I don't want thyroid cancer. I don't want my thyroid being cut out. I want to be here for my babies. I want to live a long, happy life with my husband and children. I want to see my grandchildren. And that was really my motivation. Anytime I would start to like feel like, oh, I just want to eat pancakes, or I don't want to have a smoothie, or I don't want to eat cold fruit, I just like have my little venting moment, and then I bring it back to, okay, you know what? Food is medicine. This is so good for me. I'm loving my body. By eating this way, I am giving my body what she needs so that she can heal. Because we have these amazing bodies that were created to regenerate and heal if they're given the proper nutrition. Now, the other thing I get asked a lot is, if you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, you're not eating processed junk, why do you need to do any cleansing or detoxing? And I don't understand all the intricacies behind that. All I know is that I had been eating whole food plant-based and it wasn't enough. And it wasn't until I started eating high raw, which is a more cleansing, healing diet, and doing the monthly cleanses out of the Cleanse to Heal book, which I go into detail about in my previous video. It wasn't until I started doing that I started seeing progress. Now, I hope that in the next 1, 2, 3 years to see these nodules disappearing. I hope my body can do that. That would be amazing. But I think that I am probably gonna stay high raw for as long as I can, because I feel so good. I really enjoy it. I'm used to it now. And I have so much more energy and just feel so good that eating high raw all day and then having a nice cooked meal in the evening is great for me. I just want to remind those of you that are new to me or are just finding me, I did not lose 70 pounds eating high raw. I lost 70 pounds eating mostly cooked food, and I regained a lot of health and reversed a lot of my health issues. You know, for whatever reason, thyroid just needed a little extra, and everybody's body is different. So I'm gonna run through like what a typical day of eating looks like for me real quick. So I wake up, I always have a big mason jar full of filtered water with a whole lemon squeezed in it. You know, Anthony Williams says that this flushes your liver from the toxins it's been trying to clear out all night. So that's what I do. Then after that, I have a huge mason jar of fresh celery juice. Now, you guys ask me a lot what my favorite juicer is, and I've been using the Omega one. I really want the Nama well because that looks a lot easier, but they're so expensive. They're like $600, and I reached out to the company to see if they would give me one, but they're not wanting to give me one or even talk to me. So it's kind of weird, but that's the one I really want. So I'm gonna have to save up. It's $600. So I don't know if they just like got busy and decided and haven't responded to emails, or, you know, they've just decided I'm not, you know, the type of influencer that they want to work with. I don't know. So after I have celery juice, then I will have a smoothie, or I'll have a big bowl of fruit. I generally, sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll make like a fruit salad. Otherwise, I'm very plain Jane. If I have a bunch of ripe pears, I'll eat like 4 or 5 pears, and then I'm fine for a while until I have something else. In this summertime is my absolute favorite because we just live off of melons, and we always have, even before we were plant-based. Like, we just love melon season. So I will literally go through an enormous watermelon every single day. Every morning I chop it up, and everybody just kind of picks off of that. Breakfast is always fruit or a fruit smoothie. And any snacks, if I want any, is just more fruit, or if cucumbers sound good, I'll have cucumbers, anything like that. And then lunch, if I am feeling culinary-ish, then I will put together a nice big salad and put like my raw ranch on there, or like massage avocado into my salad, which is so good, and then squeeze lemon over it. I really love that. But more often than not, lunch tends to be a smoothie or more fruit because I need things to be simple and sustainable for me. And then dinner time, a lot of potatoes because I'm obsessed with potatoes. Yeah, I'll make soups, I'll make baked potatoes, anything like that. Really anything goes at dinner. I just try to not have gluten. And I've been that way for years as I eat mostly gluten-free, but when I do have gluten, I try to have it in like sourdough or the sprouted Ezekiel bread because supposedly it gets rid of like most of the gluten. I don't know for sure. That's just what I've heard. So, but do I still go out to eat? Do I ever eat junk food? Yes, I do. December was pretty much just like a free-for-all. I just didn't focus on, I still took my supplements and my herbs, but I just did not focus on high raw as much. And I felt it though, guys. Like I was puffy and swollen and tired and felt kind of icky from all of the holiday eating I was doing. But I knew I was getting back to it and was ready to by the time I did. But yeah, we go out to eat and I will have, vegan pizza, but I don't do that often. Also, part of it is we live 40 minutes away from any like decent restaurants because we live up in the mountains of Colorado. So part of that is I just don't have easy access to it. But if I go on vacation, I do the best that I can and I also enjoy it. So I don't, life needs to happen in all of this, but you also have to be realistic and honest with yourself about how good you are actually doing. Are you doing enough to continue to make progress, or are you lying to yourself and saying you're doing better than you are? But I think it's really important to focus on progress, not perfection. I'm not perfect. I get railed in the comments every time I post something that has corn in it. I know Anthony Williams is against it. I'm against it. It is probably not great for you, but I want raw nachos here and there. And sometimes you just want an enchilada at dinner. So I try to buy organic, non-GMO, as non-GMO corn as you can get, but I'm not perfect. Am I gonna add some sugar to things here and there? Yeah. Am I gonna spray some things with oil so they get crispier? Yeah, I am. But for me, this is how I make this way of eating and living sustainable. It doesn't have to look that way for you. But yeah, I'm not perfect. I don't try to be. I just try to do a really good job. Okay, so the last thing before I sign off on what was supposed to be a quick video, but here we are. I wanted to give you guys another resource if you're needing more help to reach out to. Her name is Dr. Brook Goldner, and a lot of you guys told me about her to check her out, so I finally did. And she's amazing. She's really well known. I think she was just on the Today Show or some New York news show where they were asking her about this stuff. But she is a medical doctor with a practice and she is taking clients. She also runs like healing groups that are like 6 weeks long that you can join if you don't need like the one-on-one. She has a really informative YouTube channel that I will also link for you guys. I really suggest you check it out. They're really short, informative videos. I got her books Goodbye Lupus and Goodbye Autoimmune, and she has an excellent track record helping people heal completely from so many different health issues. She suffered with lupus for a really, really long time, but she has been lupus free now for 15 years. And I think she's like in her mid 40s, and I thought homegirl was like 32. She looks phenomenal. But what I like about her is that she also uses a raw plant-based diet to help people heal. And I saw in like one of her videos where people were asking her, what is it about raw diets that helps people heal? And her answer is that she doesn't know exactly what it is, but what she does know is that for a lot of people, they can't heal without the raw food. So her approach is a little different. It's a lot more like greens and vegetables and omegas, but it's just another approach that she's having a lot of success with. And I'm still learning a lot from her and looking at her protocol and everything. It's just a slightly different protocol that she uses, but it's still raw foods. It's still plant-based. There's some supplementation in there. So she's another really good resource. I will have everything linked below for you guys. All right, guys, that is it for my thyroid update video. I probably won't have like another medical update unless something goes wrong because thyroid stuff, you know, my doctor doesn't want to see me again for another year. But what I am going to do is try to show you more of like my eating and raw meal videos just to help give you guys more ideas. But really, when I tell you, it's a lot of just washing and cutting up fruit or making smoothies and salads. It is. I'm starting to play with my dehydrator a little bit more. I've had an Excalibur for like almost 20 years. So I've gotten that out and dusted it off and have washed my trays, and I've started making like raw zucchini chips, which have been really, really good. I posted a video for that on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you don't, or TikTok, because I share that stuff there. I'm playing with making wraps to have like some tortillas and stuff because I still like my special weekend food and I like to make like raw nachos and stuff. So I'll start, you know, sharing some of that with you guys as well. All right, guys, I love you. Don't give up on yourselves. Don't give up on your healing journey. I want you guys to stay encouraged and continue to seek out health and wholeness for yourselves. Remember to love yourselves and spread that love to somebody else. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.